everyone, PJ here. I hope you guys are well and welcome back to my channel. I have a slightly different video for you guys today. I am gonna show you how I make my spine charms. I made this one when I got this cover at the beginning of the year. I really wanted kind of like a different way of customizing my cover, and I don't think I've seen, well, I don't think anybody else has done this before, or at least I haven't seen this before when I made it, and I absolutely adore it. I haven't taken this one off this cover since I've made it. Obviously, one reason of making it was that I wanted to personalize my cover. But also, I think the reason why I like it, or the reason why I like the idea of it, is that it gives the cover and the journal, when in use, like a presence and a permanence to it. Because we talk about our journals being memory keepers, and we all having our archives and being really careful in how we curate the memories in the book. I feel like the cover should reflect that and not, I don't know, like I feel with the spine charm it makes the cover feel more like a book or a dictionary or something a little bit more special. So yeah, I'm really happy with it, and I at the time also made one for my traveler's notebook, which I love as well, but eventually ended up not using this as much because I have different charms of on my traveler's notebook, and I quite enjoy having these on this tiny little notebook. So this is a tiny little charm that I've made, and this one is also a charm as a stamp. And yeah, I prefer my traveler's notebook like this, but I do think once you have this spine charm on the side, it also looks pretty cool. Maybe the colors don't go that well. I think now that I have more letter beads, I would change the letter beads to maybe something just black and white. It will look better on this particular notebook cover. However, slight jump in thought. The reason why I've decided to make a tutorial is because I recently posted about my new spine charm made for my Yumi Kitagishi cover, because these particular colors, it being so colorful, really didn't work on this cover, especially with the white background beads. And these orange beads work way better and looks really cool. And I think a lot of you might have seen this one rather than ever seeing this one, because this has been posted a long time ago, and you have said that you like the idea of the spine charm. And then my friend Roxana from a company of notes, she has posted about the spine charm that I made her, because she has the same cover, and I bought this cover because I saw her using it and she made it look just amazing, which made me buy this cover, and I absolutely love it. And as a thank you, I guess, I made her a spine charm to go with her cover, and she posted about it a couple of days ago. And again, some of you have asked for a tutorial, so I am hoping I hope this video is going to be good enough for you to get a rough idea of how to make it. Also, these are some charms that Roxana made me, and I absolutely love it. She is a amazing talented artist. She makes polymer clay pieces, jewelry mainly, like earrings and things like that, and she surprised me with a set and I love it. It's a shame that I'm swapping out of my traveler's notebook for next year, but maybe I can find a use for these somewhere else. But I feel like we've been just exchanging little handmade gifts to each other, and it's like the most amazing thing ever. Okay, let's focus on these charms. Right, so I am gonna make Roxana a new charm for her 2025 weeks. I'm gonna kind of talk you guys through my thought processes and how I do it. but I can't give you a formula. I'm really sorry. I think that's too much math for my tiny brain. So just gonna talk you through what I use and how I get to where I get to. I'm gonna show you this cover again because I need to show you how it looks on the inside. I basically have my name or my tag on the outside, and I use double knots as stoppers on either end to keep the beads together. And then this bead here on the inside, that is the seam or the joint of the two rubber bands coming together making a loop. So this bead hides the ends. This works perfectly fine in a cover like this, and also I should mention, practicality wise, this is not a problem. It hasn't bothered me at all using my journal, and I am well, to be fair, I was gonna say I'm really picky, but given that I use a traveler's notebook, maybe I'm not as picky as the average Hobonichi user who likes their journals super flat. But I personally haven't found any issues with that. I wouldn't recommend like beads too large like this. This is gonna be a bit too lumpy, but these ones should be fine. So I'm just gonna also show you how it looks when there's a journal on the inside. You can see there's a slight height difference between where this bead rests and where this one is. This one was meant to go a bit higher up, but I didn't gauge my rubber, like the length quite right. So if I moved it up, then this is not perfectly in the middle. So this is now kind of a bit lower down, but it's still okay for your journal to sit on top. But it's meant to sit quite high up, so your journal doesn't really necessarily need to touch it. So that's that. And this system works perfectly fine when you have a cover with your journal slotted in the cover. However, with the weeks, you don't have the luxury of having a cover, and therefore my plan is to hide the joint within this line of beads. I hope it looks okay, like doesn't look too obvious, but we will see. What I mean by that is this particular heart, which I'm using as O's because I don't have enough O's. I actually only have 2 more O's, so it wasn't gonna be enough to spell this out. So I'm using these heart beads as replacement O's. But this particular O is going to be the joint, and the joint should look something like this with the knot hidden inside the bead. That is the plan. I've tested it with this bead, and the elastic fits. So that's what we're aiming for. If I can't achieve it, I'm not going to fiddle about on screen with it, and we'll just move on because I really don't want to do another take of this video. Right, so another thing that I have prepped now, because again, multiple takes, is a rough formula. So with your elastic, you want the stopper knots, which is just the double knot. I'll show you in a minute how I do these. A double knot on either side of the string, and you want it to be roughly 1.5 to 2 centimeters longer on either side of the length of the journal that you are trying to make the spine charm for. However, this is not a firm formula because how far away you move these also depends on how long the thing is that you're trying to spell. So you have to play around a little bit, but what you need to know is that these stoppers sit on the outside here, and you want them to be on like equal distances from, you know, the top and the bottom. But that's the aim. So for this particular week size, this is roughly the length of elastic between the stopper knots that you need, but actually your elastic is going to be a lot longer. So let me just show you how that looks in terms of this particular section. So here's my stopper. Actually, now that I look at this particular one, I've made it a bit shorter. Sorry if you can see, I hope you can see it. The stopper knots are quite close actually to the length of the weeks, maybe just a centimeter on either side. I don't know why I've decided to do it like that. But this particular section between the two stopper knots are going to be on the inside of your weeks. So it's going to sit in here. And then another thing you need to think about is if you're making one for your weeks and if you want to hide the joint, the join. Is it the joint or the joint? The joint. I think it should be the joint. So if you want to hide your joint within the thing that you're spelling out, you need to pick a point where you want to do it. So for me, it's going to be this hard here. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing, or what I want to be doing is I'm going to pinch the elastic quite tightly, move the stopper dots, stopper beads, stopper knots out, so it's roughly in the center of my journal, and I've pulled a lot of elastic from this section now. Like, I don't know how to calculate, you know, the tension of the elastic and how much you need to have on either side, so you will have to like wiggle around a bit and you know, try it for yourself. But this is basically what I'm aiming for, and I think I've done a good job. So I had 1 centimeter on either side with the elastic being relaxed. So I'm pretty happy with how this looks. I'm gonna go ahead now and remove the elastic from the journal. I still got my finger really tight at the point of how tight I'm pulling this particular section of beads with, and then I'm gonna just tie one knot. So I'm gonna go in like this, and then I'm gonna do it one more time. Ooh, this way, and then you just want to pull these two ends nice and tight, at the same time not losing the spot, so you kind of have to keep holding on. And this is now how it looks once you've really tightened it. This is maybe not super tight, but before I make it super tight and finalize it, I just wanted to try it on one more time, and it looks okay. So I think I can see that it looks about right, and if I make it a little bit tighter now here at the knot, this should be a good fit. So I'm gonna take it back out. I'm gonna try and tighten this here. Now I just pull, and once I'm happy with the tightness, I'm going to thread this end through this bead, this heart bead, all the way through. Okay, so I've managed. So on the inside, when you do that, you want to pull on both of your or on all 4 of your rubber strings, so it's like an equal pull, so you don't accidentally untighten your knot, but also not accidentally rip one of these elastic bands, because that would be a tragedy. So this is basically it now. I am gonna cut this end so I can thread it through the C bead and through the M bead to hide the ends. I'll be back in a minute. So I've cut about this much of the end. Gonna do the same on this side as well, like this, and then I'm gonna use the candle to kind of cinch the ends so it doesn't kind of unravel. Okie dokie, I've managed to tie the knot, so now this is how it looks. And I'm just gonna put it on and see. So I think I am quite happy with this. This is gonna be how it looks. So the beads are all on the outside, you have nothing in the center that can bother you, and yeah, so this is how it's looking. And I am gonna quickly make this one for myself. So I'm gonna explain my process of making these again, because I'm not too sure I was that clear. So let's try again. This one I'm making for my Yumiki Tagishi cover. All the little ghosts. Okay, so I have threaded my what I want to say. So it's going to be the journaling potato again. Surprise. And I've got, you can see these double knots, the knot stoppers on this side at the beginning. So you have a knot here, then you start, write the spelling what you want, and then at the point of where you want your joint to sit within, or the knot to sit within, you stop and then use the other end of your elastic band and you continue spelling what you want, and you have these knot stoppers here, and I have my two knots here and here, and looking at how much I give myself, again roughly about a centimeter longer on either side of the length of your journal, but it really doesn't, it's really not a firm formula or rule. You just need to play around a little bit. I would say just start with the 1 centimeter on either side, and then see whether you need to do a little bit more. If you give a little bit more, so if you were to give 1.5 centimeters, then what happens is your knot is going to be a little bit further, your knot is going to be a little bit further down your spine. Where's my little knot? It's over here. We want the knot definitely showing, and knot on this side as well, quite a bit. Then I'm going to pull it tighter. That looks alright-ish. So, okay, I'm gonna tighten this, and I can see already that what I will end up having to do is I will have to slightly adjust my little knots here, but that's okay. So tie a knot here. So you want to tie a knot like here, and then tie it again. You want to keep your finger on the bottom of the knot. You don't want to let go, because otherwise you will lose your elastic, and then you will just want to wiggle. If you have another person that can help you, that would make this a lot easier. Otherwise you just want to wiggle and wiggle and wiggle, and attempt to create as small of a knot as possible, something like that. This is not pulled super tight yet, because I want to give it one last try to make sure I'm happy with how it's sitting. And you don't want it too tight, because otherwise your cover might fold. So I think this is okay. It's maybe a bit loose, because this is quite tight. This one feels so, actually it's alright. So I think I'm gonna tighten it. So I think I've pulled it tight now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna thread the ends through this bead that is my end bead. I just need to cut this fluffy end a bit so it fits easily through the whole of the bead. Okay, so this is now out, and then even harder one to thread is I want to thread this one through the P. Sorry, I'm completely off camera, I'm really sorry. This one I want to go through the P. Again, this is going to be quite a tough little push. Just coming in here to use my tweezers to pull the elastic out. I'm going to do the same at the, doing the same thing at the G. I'm threading it through the G as well. This has taken a little while, but now my knot is inside this bead and my two ends I have threaded through the adjacent letter beads, and I'm now gonna cut the elastic. Well, actually I'm gonna double check one more time, but to be honest, at this stage, having really like fiddled around with the elastic quite a lot, if this doesn't fit, I would have to start again anyway. It's not really that you know, it's the elastic is too worked on for me to be able to save it, but I think this looks okay. But you can see that this knot is in the wrong place, so basically I should have left 2 centimeters on either side, I think, rather than just the 1 centimeter that I had on either side, like longer than my my journal. So I'm just gonna change that quickly. Another little test. I just need to tighten this knot, but otherwise it looks all right. I do feel with this particular journal I will likely change it. Like, I probably won't use this particular charm that I've just made, because it you can't really see it in amongst the design, and I think I need more solid, like a solid bead. So rather it being as translucent as these beads, I probably would need one of these solid opaque white beads with the black writing on, or I just need to have a look around and see if I can find the right beads. So I'm gonna cut these ends now quite close to the bead that they've been threaded through. There we go, like that. So I just used a bit of fire to kind of burn the end of the rubber so the it doesn't keep unraveling. Okay, I'm back with my flame. So this is now how this one looks. I am actually gonna put it outside in so I can show you how it looks. Yes, so this is how it looks, and you can just wiggle your elastic around a bit to make sure your writing is in the center, but this is how it looks. And this is the week's spine charm for my friend Roxana, and this is the spine charm that started everything off, and my current journal spine charms. So these are all the spine charms that I have. Let me just do this like this, just to have all of them together. Like this. Thank you so much for watching. I am really sorry again that I couldn't give you a formula for this. I hope that me talking through my thought processes and how I work these will help you make your own one. And if you do make one like this, let me know, tag me on Instagram so I can see. And thank you so much again for the love that you have shown these charms. And yeah, again, I hope this video was useful. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you soon. Bye bye.